Today is the 8th of December. It's about 12 o'clock. I was considering what I think is the biggest problem in our country is. We have a lot of problems, but the biggest problem we actually have in this country is people are not observant. The American public has been really dumbed down. And so many of them are what I would call educated fools. They go to college, they get indoctrinated, don't even realize they're being indoctrinated to foolish thinking, foolish philosophies. And the sad thing with a lot of this is, see, this starts in the home. In a traditional family where there should be a father, and sad. And I think I started to notice this probably when I was a teenager, to be honest with you. People are not taught to be able to critically think. They've not been taught to be able to step back out of a situation, examine it, and problem solve it from different angles, and to try to think cause and effect. The smartest people I know are not people that have gone to college. Matter of fact, the ones that I do know that have gone to higher education, they're probably ones I respect the least, because I've noticed that they don't have. They've been so brainwashed by their time in the university that they lost that ability to step outside of themselves, look at a situation, and examine it from all angles. The smartest people I know I know several engineers, and I have known several engineers, and those guys are smart, and they're different because they do that. Just by nature, they step out, look at everything at every angle and every possibility, and everybody else, all this other thing they run on, and I've mentioned this before, is what I call liberal logic, emotional logic. I feel this way. I feel like this, so hence I'm going to act upon it based on how I feel. Holy shit, that's a horrible way to live. If I had to act on how I felt, every day you get up and you go to work. You may not like going to work, but you probably like to eat, right? I know people who would refuse to go to work because they would get up in the morning and just didn't want to do it, don't feel like it. Now, how did they get that way? Well, part of it is really crappy parenting. Parents that did not push them to suck it up and do what you got to do. Part of it is parents that didn't value teaching their children the value of hard work. That causes problems in adulthood. So every time I look and see what's going on in the world, and I try to keep up on world events through multiple sources. Thank God for the internet in that regard, because you sure aren't getting it in this country. I read something that all our media is controlled by 6 corporations. You really need to think about that. All our media outlets are controlled by 6 corporations. Their talking points are coming from 6. Do you know how easy? Communist governments, Stalin and the USSR and Cuba and China, state-run TV. They control the flow of information. Whoever controls the flow of information controls the people. And people are like sheep. You believe everything that you spoon-fed? Do you really? Do you believe if the media calls somebody a racist? Does that really mean they're a racist? If some celebrities that you like and admire, who you really shouldn't admire, celebrities are not somebody you should admire. Their lifestyles are nothing to admire. There's nothing within them that is admirable. I want you to think about this, and I've said this before. If you like a celebrity because of their acting ability, you are liking them for their ability to pretend. They are professional liars. They are so good at lying, they can make themselves to be out somebody that they really aren't, and you can believe it. Matter of fact, if you think about it, the whole problem with celebrities is people actually believe they're the character that they play. Actors hate that. They really hate that. They have something called typecasting, where they're so set with so well known for one particular character, they can never get hired for another job. But it's because they acted so well playing somebody they never were that people believe that that's who they are. Don't believe anything that they say. And we're at a point in this nation where it's going to get harder and harder and harder to discover truth. Because what they're going to do is hide it. Anything that makes the people that they like, the people they support, anything that's negative or shows them in a bad light, you're never going to hear about it. It's never going to get talked about. It's going to get swept under the rug. 6 corporations are controlling everything that you see and hear. 6. That's scary. You should be scared of that. But once again, we have half of the population in this country who thinks it's good to subjugate the rest of the country for the welfare of humanity, because that's the bullshit that they've come to believe. Because they were brainwashed in college. They're brainwashed. The world's coming to an end through climate change. We're all going to go extinct if we don't do something about it. Something radically. Look, I'm telling you, there's been an agenda around for a very long time where they'd love to have the human population of the world at 500 million versus the 8.5 billion that's there already. So they would be very happy, and you know who they would be happy to eliminate. Everybody but disconnected to them. That's it. Because that's what you need to save the world, to save the biodiversity, to save. Look, this world's dying anyway, folks. The Judeo-Christian, the Christian perspective on the world, it's dying anyway. It's going to die. It's going to come to an end. But it's not going to come to an end by the hands of man. That's the best part of it. The hands of man is not going to put an end to this world. But if you're going to believe that secular bullshit, because that's all it is, it's just a giant scheme to subjugate you under a giant one world government that takes away basically all of your rights, and are going to force you to live a lifestyle that you don't have a choice in anymore. You know, I don't know if many people realize this. Probably a lot of young people don't realize. You know, China had they still have it, I think, a one-child policy in their nation. Because many, many, many years ago, they thought they were going to all starve to death because they couldn't raise enough food. Well, now they export food. Now they export food. One-child limit. That's what world government does. That's what totalitarian regimes do. They control every aspect of your life. Do you want that? Start to be a critical thinker. Start to look around. Start examining. Don't be so damn blind by your own personal biases that you don't have the ability to look and see something bigger. Or you're just going to run on that emotional crap that they spoon-fed you when you were young and impressionable. I am not optimistic about the country's future, because I know how things go when human beings decide that they're going to adopt policies that have never worked in the past. And for some reason, they think they are so good at making changes to those policies that it's going to be better. They're not. In the end, it's going to result in bloodshed. You just better pick the right side.